So good morning, everybody. First of all, I have to find my way with this nice thing, but now everything is good. Giulio, thank you so much for inviting me. It's a big honor to be with you this morning. Sam, it's a pleasure also to be here. We just said we now meet us weekly. Next week we will be together in Monaco. And also thank you so much, Khalila Jabir, for hosting us in this center of international sport, you can say so, because every day you see something more that happens in this region, especially in your country. Dear colleagues and ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I have to start with a quote because I will end with a quote as well. And I have to send you the warmest regards of the Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon. He said, I quote, "Sport is not a luxury. It's an investment in better health, education, and skills for coming generations." That's a quote of Ban Ki-moon. And I listened very carefully when Giulio told us about the situation with drowning people around the world. And I have to add something. I have to add that 70% of the victims are female. 70. And so you all know about the Millennium Development Goal of the United Nations. We have to fight for the rights of girls and women. And so one priority as well to support your initiative is to do everything that our children learn how to swim. I like to listen to stories, and of course I want to tell you also a story of myself. I'm nearly 70 years old, and since 6 weeks I'm a grandfather for the first time. And it's a little girl. What is important for the next weeks and months? For sure, she has to learn how to walk. After 1 year, I hope that she is able to walk. And then we hope, of course, that one day she will say, "Hi, grandfather." Great thing. I will see her smile and she will see me smiling. And what do you think is next when she gets to the language? She has to read and to count. But what is then important for her? Is it important to play football, basketball, volleyball? Or might it be more important that we teach her how to swim? Yeah? What is more important? I can tell you what I taught my 4 children. How to swim. When they are 4 or 5 years old, all of my children were able to swim. And this must come into the head of all the head of states, the sports ministers, and everybody who loves swim. And also to have a heart to understand that we cannot accept that every minute somebody dies around the world because of drowning. First thing said. Third thing, following situation. When I've been a minister, we call it a senator in the state of Bremen, I had the situation that some teachers told me, "Mr. Lemke, in our schools, not enough children learn how to swim when they are 10 years old after primary school." And I said, okay, first of all, we have to start to know about the current situation in this small state of Bremen. We only have something like 700,000 inhabitants. So very easy to find out how many children are able to swim and how many not. At that moment, we had something like 70% who were able to swim. 70. But this is, of course, not enough. I want to have 100%. This is not easy, finally, to reach 100%. But then we make it very clear, and that is exactly what you don't want to do for the world, Giulio. We've done it in a very, very tiny state of Bremen. We found out that it's very easy to lift it up with some courses before and some courses after. They got 1 year lessons at school. But I don't know if you know that we have 100 million people around, or children around the world, that have no access to schools. 100 million of children have no access to school. So this must be a very, very important goal that we have to do with UNESCO and other big partners in that area, because UNESCO is responsible, firstly, for this as well. So please understand that we have to start with an evaluation of the current situation. In each country, 194 countries, we have to find out how is the situation. And we have to convince everybody to be partner in it. I just mentioned the Millennium Development Goals. There's one, the 8th, partnership. And that is exactly what we need, Giulio. We need partnership to finalize or to achieve the goal that nearly every child has the right to learn how to swim. And I read your proposals. Everything is very clear and very positive. And let me just add, it's so important that we all come together. And I'm happy to be a facilitator. We have not the power to accomplish these things. We have to do it in partnership. The spearhead, that's Fina. You must be the spearhead, because the governments will say, oh, we have so much to do. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough time. There are other priorities. But our priority, and I may speak about Fina, our goal must be to make it better in the future. Not every minute shall some child die around the world only by drowning. And so this is very important to start as soon as possible. I read in your paper that you will start with 2 countries. Please allow me, we have 5 continents. Try to think about that we may add some more countries, because this is a big plan, and you will not be finished before 20 or 25 years if you just start with 2 countries. We have 5 continents. Please think about starting in every continent, just 1 country, to start with this wonderful Fina initiative. And I would be very glad if we can bring all partners together. We have UNESCO here at the panel sitting. They have the responsibility definitely for a curriculum, because the curricula is very important for this, and this has to be similar, because there is no difference in Australia or Germany or in South Africa. It's rather easy to teach people how to learn to swim, and you can do it in a very short time. Just only to let you know, we have an initiative called the Youth Leadership Program, and in this program, from the first day, I said, I want to offer everybody who comes to this youth leadership camp, they have the chance to learn how to swim. And everybody who goes out is able then, finally, they learn how to swim. And sometimes they say, Mr. Lemke, the most important thing for us was not to learn about the values of sport, because we know the values of sport, but it was so wonderful to come back in our home countries and we can say, listen, now we are able to swim. Yeah, sometimes we don't think about it because that is your life. Yeah, everybody's like, yeah, of course, what is the problem? But there are definitely, maybe more than 50%, I'm quite sure, around the world population are not able to swim. And we have to stay together with that. Finally, and I already said so, I will have another very short quote. And you definitely, when I start, you will know who said so. Sport unites the people. And that is our wonderful leader of the world, Nelson Mandela, who said so. And also, I'm not here for Human Rights Watch or something like that, or Amnesty International, but there's a chance to speak to all of you from all parts of the world. And so I just have been together with Sam in Joburg in South Africa. And I learned that IOC, FIFA, UEFA, and some other big institutions like FC Barcelona and Werder Bremen, the club where I come from, joined the initiative Global Watch Summit Fight Against Racism. And I don't know if you already heard about this initiative, but I would be very proud and happy if you, as Fina, also can join at the first international sport organization, federation, join this initiative. Wherever we are, we must fight where we have to fight against racism all over the world. We live in a world that is incredibly violent, and I really can see the situation in all parts of the world. Now we are sitting in this wonderful country here. There are more than 60 military conflicts in our world. And we must have the power to unite people, as Nelson Mandela said. So that is just one wish. I know that has nothing to do with swimming, but it is something that has to be not recommended, or I would love if Sam can join me with that. And then Fina would be the first federation in this initiative. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.